Nope.
Ooh.
You can't tell though, can you?
Wow, shots fired. Jesus
Can you tell
Christ.
right here? Like my barber just says it's
Shot
I have
reading.
thin hair. I say I have no hair.
Hmm?
I don't care.
The barber's just trying to get a tip, Drew.
She's
Probably.
I knew what was coming. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
F you love us, cope and deal, darling.
I look like Bruce Willis. It's amazing. Just kidding. I don't.
We're live.
Especially without pants on.
Oh God! So you're saying I look like a penis? Is that what you're saying? Is
You
this
look like a
would this
thumb with two
would this be
thumbs.
considered the testy hair? Ooh.
Oh,
All right, everyone.
fuck's
Welcome
sakes.
to the Geeks and Geekments crew. This is not a kid's stream tonight. This is the adult side of things. We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, The Forgotten Prince. At last we left off, we were in Celestia. We were taken there by Sonagrad, which is a herald of Bahamut, and she is taking you guys to the palace of Bahamut. You got swirled into the vortex of Celestia and dragged up by dragon claws, and you stand before a shimmering lake of silver holy water.
Ooh, fancy.
And all the buildings and castles around you are very white, shiny, beautiful, gleaming. Everything is wonderful. And there is a lovely, beautiful elf standing next to you.
How lovely and beautiful is she?
Amazingly. On a scale of 1 to 10, she broke the scale.
25.
Broke the scale at about 40.
Do a proper curtsy to her.
She bows and says, I am Sonagrad. This is my chosen form for those that are not keen on dragons. Oh, the doggy! Hello, doggy!
She was jealous of Loki getting all the attention.
She's beautiful.
She's pit bull boxer.
Yeah, look at that.
Doesn't she look like Chewie with a shorter muzzle?
Yeah, I was just
She
going to say
does.
that. She looks
Yeah,
exactly
exactly.
like Chewie. Oh my god.
Does she fart like Chewie? Because
Oh, God.
She does fart like a mother.
that's amazing. Chewie had the worst farts. Oh my goodness.
She also spoons me all night. She's a mama's doggy.
All right, we're getting into some weird territory here.
You know what? Yeah, stop it.
Okay, so the first layer of Celestia is known as Lunia, which is where you are. Sonagrad looks at you and says, fortunately for us, the Palace of Bahamut travels the first 4 layers of Celestia, and it happens to be here in Lunia. We must hurry and get to the palace as soon as possible. Please follow me.
Is there danger? I have an accent. Is there danger? Is there a reason we need to travel quickly?
Only because of the current situation, we must travel
All right.
quickly.
Understandable.
I understand that this is most of your first time ever seeing Celestia. Maybe you've read about it in books or studied it. However, we must stay focused on the current mission.
Of course, milady.
So she starts escorting you. She has a escort of dragon guard with her, half dragons that are all gold. And she starts leading you down through Lunia. If you're looking around in Lunia, you see portals that lead to other realms, and Sonagrad is telling you these portals lead to other realms. At will, we can travel through them and to them from here. There's
Hades is entranced.
yeah, they're everywhere, and it's like different colors, swirling vortexes. You see pools, you see people praying, you see archons everywhere, you see angels, you see just everything is beautiful here, and they're all very, very happy.
Hades is gonna try to get close to Aegis. She's a little uncomfortable.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
How far away are these portals?
How far away are they? You got to
Yeah.
walk down some paths, and there's guards that stand next to them and
So
stuff. But
some are like kind of like below us.
they're below you, above you.
Geez, so he tries to spit into one.
Hades will smack him. No.
So as
Bard
you
just chuckles at that.
as you spit, Sonagar turns around and says, "My dear half-orc, I highly suggest that you do not ever do that again.
Phlegm.
I am only able to protect you from so much, but the Lord of this layer of Celestia has the power here, and he is not one to be taken lightly. So please, keep your phlegm to yourself." And she turns around and keeps walking.
Aegis,
What?
we need to be respectful of them. All right. Don't do anything stupid.
I love the head nod.
All right.
As you guys are walking by, you see, the typical Archons. You see just normal people. You see trade going on. You see all the normal stuff that you would see in a town, only it's just this town happens to be really impressive. You walk through the front gates. The guards open the doors immediately, recognizing Sonograd. She explains to you that understand that when we arrive at the palace, the next of the heralds that you will meet is Martelshok, and he is very, very upset at what has come. He is the bodyguard of our Lord. You will also meet Troanaxia, Urgala. I'll send it to you, Heather. I'll send you all the names.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. There is Gurumar, Kulyara, and Vorkad. They have all assembled here in the palace, and we are awaiting orders from the higher of the leaders here. So please, follow us. And she walks off, and you see in front of you, floating in the sky, a castle that is made from what looks like pure gold. And it's huge. Every window is ordained with gemstones. In fact, the windows themselves look like they are made from gemstones. And not like, a bunch of gemstones. Giant rubies, diamonds, emeralds, everything.
Like all one piece.
Yes, and like thinned out so it looks like a window and you can see through it. And Sonagar turns to you and says, "Please, I welcome you to the palace of Bahamut."
It is beautiful, my lady.
It is. Everything here is worth a very, very lot of
We've no rogues. It's fine.
Says every rogue.
No, we've no rogues.
I highly suggest that certain people, and she looks right at you, Aegis, keeps everything to themselves and does not try to take anything.
I don't steal. I just take baubles off my enemies after they've been vanquished, and I drink from their skulls.
There are no enemies here.
We're skull drinking.
Inside, you will find many things.
I just swallow it when the book elf looks at me.
Hates to put her finger over his lip when he did that. It's like,
stop.
What?
Good.
I must tell you that we will be arriving at the pool as well. However, we have to wait for Saint Leomar.
I've already bathed. I don't need to bathe.
This is
Not that
the-
kind of
3
pool.
weeks ago.
Do you remember the pool I told you that we were going to see?
Yes, my lady.
No.
Well, some would say it is sort of a pool of reflection. Others would say it is a pool of truths. It will show you what it is you most desire and the future that you are on. Does that make sense to you, Aegis the Unbroken?
Yeah, so everybody will see Aegis the Unbroken. Because he is what everybody desires.
No, it's not.
What?
I don't understand how you came to that correlation.
At least we all know what Aegis the Unbroken will see.
Just
I could've
ages the
told you
unbroken
that.
over and over and over again.
Yes.
So when you guys get to the doors, it's big, giant, double doors. They're just gold, probably 2.5 feet thick, and you see them open, and there's half dragons everywhere, and you see these half dragons pushing the door open. And in front of the door, it's very ornate. There's platinum dragons carved in, which are probably made out of pure mithril. You see gemstones with where Bahamut's eyes are. There's blue sapphires. It's just very, very beautiful. And at the front of the door, you see a golden scaled half dragon standing in front of you. And he says, "I am Saint Leomar. Please come with me."
Curtsy.
And he takes you in there. And as you guys walk in, there are 6 other elves that stand next to Sonnegaard and start walking behind you.
Are they dressed all fancy?
They are dressed very fancy.
Poofters.
What did you call them?
Poofters.
Well, this is wonderful.
I'm confused.
Poofters. They wear poofy hats, poofy clothes. Poofters.
Very simple.
Someone who
Very
enjoys
simple.
haberdashery.
A book elf will not write that word down.
Please
Fancy
don't.
lads.
It's
Yeah.
rude.
Poofters. Definition: people that like poofy things.
Civilized folk.
Yeah. So,
Just right above cart pushers. Or push carters.
oh, easy. You might meet the cart pusher here pretty soon.
Donkey carts.
So,
It's a donkey cart.
as you guys are walking, it was so bad because I had so many plans for that guy. And then you called him a donkey cart pusher, and I was like, well, we're just gonna have to wait for this. So, as you walk into the great room in the beginning, it is every bit as impressive as Eldrazi's lair. It's just incredible. There's guards standing everywhere. There's half dragons carrying around plates of food. Saint Leomar looks to you guys and says, "Please feel free to eat. It is probably best that you do. For when you enter this pool, it will take a lot out of you. And please remember, most things that happen in the pool happen to you here. So it is very, very wise of you to be careful with how you behave and what you do."
Edges. Did you hear him?
He just listens to the poofter.
Was that Loki? Because that was amazing. That was perfect timing. So you guys are more than
Book elf
welcome
told me not to say much.
You guys
shut
are more
up,
than welcome
dog.
to look around. And
Don't look
eat.
at me like you know better than I do, dog.
Saint Leomar walks ahead of you guys. He turns, he bows, and he says, "Please excuse me. I must make preparations."
Was
And he walks behind these double doors in the Great Hall and swing open. And you guys, as they open, you see a bright silvery reflection of a giant pool shining in this room.
That's definitely Mercury.
It's going to give you some Mad Hatter disease. That's all right.
So, Drew, when you say half dragons, do you mean like the human half dragon crossbreed, or do you mean like Dragonborn?
You see Dragonborn, but I mean like the true half dragons.
The
like,
original, like
yes,
true
like these
half.
are these are all
They're
pretty
dead.
much forgotten amongst Faerun and other realms. However, here they are still very much alive.
Nice.
Bahamut is very, as you can tell if you look around, he is very old school. So everything is just, if you imagine a castle, this is what a castle would look like if it was made from gold. So everything's in order. He's got torches or sconces lit. It's just very well put together. There's fucking birds everywhere. They're cooked, ready to eat. And it's there's maidens coming to you guys, and these are just straight up human maidens, not half dragons or anything like that.
Here, one second. I can take my dog out. Hold on. Because
Yeah, that's fine. You notice that everyone here is very happy. Like there's that, ear about it where they know what has happened, but still their spirits are very high. You get the feeling that Bahamut was very, very nice to everyone that was under him. And he doesn't really treat them like they're servants, more so like they're equals to who he is. Like he, as a leader, he would be more of a King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table type figure. Not so much Donald Trump. Oh wait, I mean
that's
I'm sorry.
directly different.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a starker contrast than that.
I was gonna go with King John, but that actually worked better.
No,
That works better.
We're gonna go straight. They were both kings, so they had the same kind of thing in mind. But I guess it depends what lore you read about King Arthur.
Well, Arthur versus
with
Uther.
There
Right.
we go. We'll go with
Or
straight up
Trump.
Mallory, which tends to be the more flowery
Right. I'm just
Aryan.
let's put it more of the whole round table theory,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
everyone's equal at the table. So versus I'm the king, you listen to me.
Right.
So that's what you guys see right now. Sonagard can tell you a little bit about Saint Leomar. He's basically just runs the church of Bahamut. And he's what's surprising about it is that he's actually just a half dragon. He's not a real dragon at all. He's just straight up a half dragon, but he's reached such a pinnacle as a half dragon that Bahamut has entrusted him the entire fellowship of Bahamut.
That is amazing.
Which kind of would impress you, Kratos, because of where you just came from and what you just lost. It would basically show you like, wait,
Maybe not everybody's a dick.
right, maybe there are actually good dragons and people or things, something out there.
There's some goodness, even though
There's something out there that's good.
Wow,
So
is
it's up to you
Kratos
guys what
that
you guys
broken?
do by
he's a little.
well, I
broken.
mean, if you think about it, the guy he was following just turned on Kratos. He lost his entire army.
Yeah.
Everything that he was striving to be was just stripped from Kratos. Like, I know he wasn't here for it, but I mean, like, it was a big blow to Kratos.
Right.
So Al has, I don't know, 4 weeks to process all that.
No, definitely. When you see Kratos, he's not.
Not the Kratos I met 3 days ago.
No, he's not like an angry mess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, Ulfgar died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's been a rough few days.
Yeah.
and just so we're clear about time wise, it's been a lot longer than just 3 days.
Okay.
I grab a bird.
Is there alcohol?
Oh yeah, there's
Pour in a nice glass of red.
the wine and booze and spirits are flowing. Are you guys gonna talk to anybody, or I mean, it's filled in here. Like it's pretty booming for a great room.
How many people are sitting around this round table?
There's no round table in here. I was just
Oh,
I was comparing
Okay.
the leadership style of Bahamut to King Arthur, the round
Okay.
table theory.
okay. Are we sitting at a big table, or like, what's this like?
Right now, you guys are just
You're
standing.
at the kids' table.
There's tables, there's chairs, there's places to stand. There's people talking. You see half dragons bickering amongst themselves. You see the Sonagard and Grudamar. Oh, well, you wouldn't know them yet, but you see Sonagrad standing there talking to several other elves.
So there's a lot of elves here, aren't there?
Elves and half dragons.
Right now, there's 7 elves in this room.
So,
What?
the elves aren't really elves, not like Adi and Savary.
I know they're poofters.
No, the dragons in a more human form. And Poofter is rude. We've had this conversation.
So
So,
Kind
don't
of in
say
their
anything.
home. Yeah, you're kind of in their home. You shouldn't call them mean names.
I'm not. It's a description. It's an
It's,
adjective.
no.
no,
It
it's
is.
a
It's a descriptor.
it's a slur. No, depending on how you take it, it's a slur.
They're bad. Don't they have baggy pants? Don't they?
Yes, but Poofter has
So they're
another.
poofy.
Kind of
pants.
poofy.
That doesn't.
It can have it's
Negative connotations.
a derogatory description of somebody who enjoys the same sex.
I don't even. Jeez doesn't even understand.
I
what
thought
that
those were
means.
just elves.
I thought elves just slept with elves.
Really?
Is it alpha sex?
What?
No, elf is a race.
No.
Elf is a sex. You are correct.
No,
So you're
no,
vegan.
it's not.
Yes.
I'm just gonna eat a bird. I just
Eat a
gonna
bird.
I sit down next to an elf, like right next to, uncomfortably next to him.
I give up. I give up.
Jesus
Okay.
mingling with the locals.
Don't call them
So-
poofters.
You sit down next to a very, very beautiful, even in your eyes, Aegis, elf, female.
I give her the what's up nod and and I wink the one good eye.
When you do that, I want you to
That
roll.
looks terrifying.
There's no part of that that isn't.
Is it
Roll,
intimidation?
Roll a Constitution check.
I'm gonna wink my one good eye at you.
Jeez doesn't care. Constitution
That's
check.
He should have picked his eye
Yeah.
patch up and winked the empty eye socket at her.
Let's see.
She
I got,
puke everywhere.
I got a 15,
Oh, let me
which
take care of
probably
that.
isn't enough.
Okay, so as you're winking at her, she looks at you, and her eyes flare a golden color, and you literally just piss your pants.
Jeez is gonna start the next blood war.
And she says to you, "Listen here, half-orc. I do not know if you know who you talk to, but the next time you approach me, it will be with respect, or your head will lie on this floor."
Oh, I think we found one of Tiamat's people.
I just kind of
Or
look
at
at
least somebody that Hades will like.
her. I scoot over a little bit.
So Sonograd walks up and goes, "Tronaxia, please. These are guests. You must control yourself." Tronaxia just smirks, and she looks at you again, Aegis. Roll another Constitution check.
Oh my.
Aegis is so getting hate fucked tonight.
You have to pardon my shield.
I'm not so sure if that's a real risk right now.
No, it's gonna be even more of a
20,
babbling
20
idiot.
22.
Okay, so with a 22, you're able to just kind of like, you feel like, ooh, but you don't piss yourself again. And she laughs. She kind
I
of.
don't even care. like,
What's
Not
funny,
piss
half
myself,
orc,
I
is that you're not the first of your kind I have dealt with. I have dealt with a many orc. Not so much half because, well, they're usually a waste of my time. Usually it's true orcs that I deal with. However,
I just look
since you
over
are guests amongst the Bahamut, I will allow you to sit there for now.
She's gonna allow me to sit there.
Mhm.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know we had assigned seats.
I just
So-
get up. I just get up and move to across the other side of the table.
Edges, come here.
She just laughs. You just hear her chuckling.
To be fair, you are dripping as you walk away.
Dude,
Right.
I don't even care.
Everyone notices a puddle where Aegis was sitting. Everyone smells the half orc pee and puddle that he just left. And a maiden comes over with a bucket and a rag and just starts scrubbing.
Hades is gonna use prestidigitation on his pants to
Jeez
get
just,
rid of the
Jeez just
smell.
claimed his territory.
Milady,
And I smacked Asgamar on the ground. Like, not even caring.
Milady, on the ground.
Yes.
Is there somebody that can show? Addie and I need to clean up. Is there somebody that can show us where we can do that?
Yes, absolutely. Please.
you.
And she snaps, and a female half dragon comes over, and she says some draconic to her, which anyone who speaks draconic would know.
I do.
She basically says, "Please escort these fine ladies to the baths." in their chambers, and she bows. Aegis, you notice that what you now know as Tronaxia is staring at you, and she's kind of like longingly looking at you a little bit.
Oh my!
And she kind of has a weird feel about her right now.
She's in mating season.
Someone's into wet works.
Oh.
One of the male
This
elves,
is how half orcs are made. Now win.
You urinate in front of each other to impress one another.
is that really how it goes down, or what? There, Aegis, please.
Yes.
Oh,
do you want to mate? After that puddle, hell yeah. So one of the male elves, he stands up and he bows and he says, "Please, let me introduce myself. I am Grudamar, also known as the voice of Bahamut."
And your lovely voice indeed, sir.
Thank you very much. I am not one for conflict so much as my friend here, Tronaxia, who you have all met. Well, at least one of you has become interest. Tronaxia is known as the Presence. She is who Bahamut sends when nothing else works.
I can see why.
Yes, she can be very persuasive.
I'm certain.
We have Urgala the Fang. She is, well, as her name sounds, the chief tactician of Bahamut's army. And yes, Bahamut does have an army. We are good, but there is evil.
You need to protect yourselves.
Very much so. To your right, my dear Kratos, I believe is your name, is Maroshak. And he's just a giant male elf. If you would consider, elves to be big at like 5'4", 5'5", this dude's like 6'8", and massive. Think like Hapflor. And he looks at you, Kratos, and he says, "So you let my god be taken, and you did nothing? You just watched as a simple Kirinborn took him?"
Well, I don't think it was so simple, was it? If you could just take him.
Pathetic. I don't even know why you guys are still alive. You should all be dead in defense of my lord.
Someone needs to fix this, and we're going to.
Right. Gurumar kind of raises his hand and he says, "Please, everyone just calm down. We are under tough times. You have already met Sangrad, the wing. She is the messenger. You have not met Kiara, and you don't even see this elf. You just kind of, he looks, and then you see like a glimpse of her, and then she's gone again. She is for the less forward approach to Bahamut's army.
She's the rogue.
Yes, very well put, Hades. And then you have Borkad the Claw. He is justice, which I believe we all in need of.
Rather.
So they all bow to you, except Tronaxia and Kyria. You can't see Kyria. She's literally like, if you can imagine like what a top level ranger could do with hide in plain sight, she's above that.
So it's like just constant blur.
Yes, and when you think you see her, she appears somewhere else.
Nice.
So she's never like not moving somewhere. You see Urgala stand up, and she's a beautiful female elf, and says, and you notice that Bahamut has a pretty well mixed employment. females and males, and typically the females seem to be the higher-ranking officials in Bahamut's army. At least with the 7 great worms here. Urgala stands up and says, "What is our next step? What must we do? Where are we going to strike first?" And Gurumar says, "Please, please wait. We must show them the pool first. We have to let them see what their choices will become. If we do not, they will never choose correctly. Understand this, my friend Urgala." And you see Urgala sit back down, and she's just like very fidgety, ready to pounce, basically. Trinaxia is still staring at you, Aegis.
Mm-hmm.
Aroshok is drinking his wine and basically huffing and puffing as if he wishes he could have been there to die for his lord. Sonograd is listening patiently to Grumar, and then obviously Kira and Borkod are really not doing too much right now. The doors open up, and you see Saint Leomar come out. You girls are at a bath, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If someone took us to a bath, then yes.
Yeah, the
Oh, and
handmaidens.
Kratos is in charge. Just
Right, the handmaidens show up, and
Kratos
they
is
say,
always in charge.
Of course.
"Please, my ladies, follow me. I will take you
Thank
to
you.
your bathing chambers."
Do you happen to have any elf-sized clothes?
Oh, our wardrobes are extensive here.
Oh,
Wonderful.
excellent, excellent.
Yes. And it's funny that a changeling would ask for elf-sized clothes. Do you plan on portraying an elf today?
No, for Adi. If I have clothes of various sizes, however, I figured Adi might want to get out for armor.
What is your desired shape? Please, you can take your true form here. No one will ever judge you.
It's fine. This is fine.
Okay. Fair enough.
Addie is not going to put on any dresses unless they're at least an AC of 18.
We're not going to be getting
Or
into
higher.
a fight here.
Or higher. I have an AC of 24, so let's beat that shit, please.
Right. So Saint Leomar comes out to the boys here, Savari, Kratos, and Aegis. And he says, if you are all ready, we can take you three to the pool. I know that your friends are bathing and such not, but truly, it does not matter. You do not have to wait for your friends.
Trap.
However long you take in the pool is up to you and your mind and what you wish to see and what you wish to not see. I highly suggest that when you approach this pool, I know for some, he looks right at you, Aegis, it will be easier than others, and he looks at you, Savari. But I do suggest that you open your mind. If you do not, you will not see what you need to see.
Fair enough.
Understand that you go into this pool with dark thoughts, you will be trapped with dark thoughts. If you go in with happy thoughts, you will be trapped with happy thoughts. The choice is yours. However, the future that you are on will guide this path. So choose wisely which thoughts you wish to go into.
Cheese thinks it's the future that we're on, guys. The path, we don't have a choice anyhow, so what does it matter?
Oh,
Give me another bird.
I assure you, half-orc, that your future is not predetermined. The choices you make now will guide that future. This pool will only give you light to which choices you wish to make. If you wish to step into the
elf
pool,
who serves a dragon who talks a lot, just all concerned about what we see in the water anyhow. Give me another bird.
I am sorry, but I do not serve any dragon. I am here on my own. Bahamut has appointed me in this position. I can leave when I wish, if I wish.
Did you pay bribes to get in that position?
How do you pay a god bribes?
It must be
Perfect.
simple to be such a slave your entire life, Aegis. To be called the Unbroken is very strange to me, as seeing, well, in order to be a slave, you were already broken at birth, were you not?
Why so good to stab him?
Do you even know your father, Aegis?
Are
Do
you
you
immune
know
to cold?
I am immune to everything you can do to me, young half-orc. And if you think I
throw
do not know how
Nazgûl
to
right at him.
fight,
I throw it.
please draw your spear, Aegis.
I throw
Now,
it.
now,
ask
now. Calmer heads need to prevail. We have
I ask
things to
you.
do here.
Yes, we do. However, in order to be unbroken, you must first be broken. Think of this, Aegis. You do not remember your childhood because you are a slave. You were born a slave, and you are still a slave. Whether you
Jesus
want
no
to,
thrall.
if you
Get
say
mad.
so. Go ahead, Aegis. Release your anger. It is nice. Step into the pool with those thoughts. I want you to. I want you to see your future. Understand me, Aegis. Everything that happens in that pool will happen to you here. Do not forget this. You carry the spear Nazgamar.
I grab Nazgamar. I just walk right to the pool and get in it.
Yes, very well.
And I'm peeing in it.
Kratos. You can pee in it all you want. Nothing happens, literally.
Mercury goes up your urethra.
I don't care. I still pee in it.
So before we get to you, Aegis, which is just amazing, by the way. Saint Leomar looks to Kratos and Savardi and says, "Please understand me. I know you two are more level-headed, somewhat, Savardi. But
Eyebrow goes up.
understand that this
Like
pool,
that.
it knows your darkest secrets. It knows everything it has to about you. It's going to challenge you at every step. So understand me, Savardi, when I say this. Your hatred, it can be your end very quickly. So please, step into the pool."
Hey, Andrew, what was this guy's name again?
Walk up and step in.
It's Saint Leomar.
Okay, and he is an elf, right?
No,
Or no?
he's
Or
he's
a-
a half
He's
dragon.
half dragon.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
He's
This
a
dude's on
golden
my
scaled-
list.
He's a golden scaled half dragon.
He's
I'll
on my
step up,
list.
disrobe, and step in.
Okay. There's as you disrobe, there's a maiden comes up, catches your robes.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Aegis
just
walked
like
in with his clothes
my
on, and
leathers.
Savari got in naked with him, and it's amazing.
Right.
Uh,
I feel
Saint
like
Leom-
Deadpool should come up out of the side and take pictures of them.
So, Saint Leomar looks at you, Kratos, and he bows and he says, "It is good to see a dragonborn here. We were once like me, but no longer. Many things have happened that have changed the way we are born, and now we have dragonborn, which is you, Kratos. You have come upon some very, very bad news lately. It seems that in your life, bad news has always been around.
Yeah, it just tends to get worse and worse as it goes.
Well, be wary of that as you step into the pool. Understand that it will surround you with your darkest thoughts as well."
I have
You-
to ask you something.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, fine. Go ahead.
I look over at the giant Hapthor type fucking elf. Why aren't we dead? More specifically, why am I not dead? Here. To walk in the halls of Bahamut after causing him to be captured? Why am I not dead?
Well, apparently, Someone or something has a greater purpose for you. Our time, as I'm sure maybe you will learn, isn't decided by gods or fate. Our time is our time. Your time is yet to come. Bahamut or Model Shock could kill you. Believe me, I have seen Model Shock fight. I do not believe there is a dragon. Even Bahamut himself would struggle against him. He is something of a true warrior. However, someone else sees that you need to live. So, I suggest you go in with those questions in your mind, and they just may become answered. You follow Tempest, do you not?
Yes, I do.
Well, this is a very good time for Tempest, for a war is coming to Faerun. And Tempest does love him some more. So maybe you are to be his general? His focus, maybe? I do not know.
Oh, I seem to have failed at everything that I've tried so far. So, I suppose we'll see.
We are not judged by our failures, Mr. Kratos. We are judged by our successes. Everyone has failed. Bahamut has failed himself. I have failed many times. To think that because you have failed it is the end, that is not true. Failures are just tests to see how well you pick yourself off the ground and meet the next challenge. If every failure you learn something, then that failure is actually a success, is it not?
Yes.
So what have you learned? Before you answer, please step into the pool.
Okay, I'll go up to the pool. I pretty much don't have fucking clothes on anyway, other than pants. So,
I mean,
this
you,
really doesn't.
you are a dragon, so
Yeah. Yep, I'll walk in.
okay. So
But when I do it, I'm carrying Reap with me.
that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Nice.
They don't. There's no one tells you you have to take your clothes off. I mean, Safari was straight up like, "No, I'm going in naked."
Yeah, no, I'm.
Free balling it.
Yeah, there's something real weird about this fucking group now, where people get naked. So, like, I'm straight up wearing pants.
With my spear like this, just all salty, just like just sitting
I'm
there.
gonna just keep walking till I don't. I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay, so you guys go into the pool. We're gonna stop right there real quick, and then we're gonna jump to the ladies. So you guys are in a beautiful bathing chamber. The tubs are again solid gold. You see buckets made out of emeralds, diamonds. Nothing in here is like what you would expect for a traditional like device for a bucket to be, like wood, metal.
Right.
Now it's diamond carved out to make a bucket.
Neat.
Right. So, and they're pouring this water on you, and the water that they're using is very, very shimmery, and it's almost like a silver colored.
What's
Oh.
what is this?
Aegis' urine.
No.
That's where the filter comes out.
That's gold.
Oh my,
Oh,
my lady,
God.
this is the water from Lunia. We use the holy water here.
You're being bathed in holy
Oh.
water, Hades.
Maybe a bath wasn't a good idea.
Does this offend you in some way?
I'll
my
take her
lady?
holy
No.
water.
No, it's fine.
You seem awfully uncomfortable. Please understand that we do know who you worship here. We were very well informed, and I do not know if you fully understand who you worship, but holy water does not
I know I don't worship a demon or a devil.
Well, this is. Yes, he is not a demon, nor a, well, but you know,
The great unknown.
exactly. Yes, but he does not give it. What? How do I say this?
A
It's very
cephalopod.
Yes.
The being or deity you wish to worship does not give any care to what you bathe in.
I know.
He only cares of chaos,
I know.
pretty much. So he should be happy with you being here because you yourself, and she's kind of like nervous a little bit. You should yourself be, well, you're doing a fine job, I might add. And then she kind of like just rushes off over to Addie. You see, she's kind of nervous talking to you. Not so much because of who you are, but because of who you worship.
Yep.
And you can kind of get a feeling that in this temple, worship is kind of a big thing because they literally like
They hang out with their god.
right, they love
It's a huge
Bahamut,
difference between what we
and
do.
He
Right.
is literally the god of good dragons. So,
yeah.
and she comes to you, Addie, and she says, "Oh, my dear Addie, how are you this evening?"
I'm feeling much better now, thank you.
Wonderful. Your friends have entered the pool.
What? Without us there?
It is not required that you all be there. It is just required that you all enter.
It's usually
Well,
recommended. Hold on. It's usually recommended that we escort them to pretty much any and all adventures because there have been things in the past that have happened that are really regretful.
They're idiots.
I must tell you,
Particularly mine.
these adventures will not be for all of you. They will be for each of you. These are not something that you will handle as a party this time. These are your own tasks.
So Aegis will be alone?
Oh, yes, but he will be somewhere where he is comfortable, I am sure. He seems very brutish.
Sorry, I meant to see myself.
He seems as if he could handle himself in a fight, and I'm sure the pool will guide him to a fight of sorts. Whether he wins or not is up to him. Understand this, they did not know this, but their gods will impact this as well. So,
They weren't told this beforehand?
no,
Oh, that's
they were
way
not.
funnier than anything else that's going to happen today. Thank you.
But they did not ask
Thank you.
questions either.
So, our gods, our gods have a hand in this.
Well, this pool is created by all the gods.
Oh.
This pool isn't just normal magic. This is beyond where you draw from the weave, or for you, my lady, the great unknown. This pool is something far beyond that. It has been in existence. Many have forgotten this name, but Lord Io is the one who created this pool.
Can we roll?
Yes, you can.
Thanks.
Jesus after roll. Jeez knows.
Heather knows.
No, I think Matt knows, not a G's.
And that's religion, obviously, or history.
You can do both. Either
Oh,
one.
good. 20. I'm sorry, 21.
17.
So, with a 21, you remember something mentioned about an overgod, a deity that basically ran all of the deities. He was above them in a way. You don't really remember his name, but when she says Lord Io, you remember that was probably what you read or remembered being taught. As far as what you think of what an overgod is, if there's like Asmodeus, who's leader of the nine hells, and what is it, Torn or Tyr that leads Celestia? I can't remember who leads Celestia.
Tier.
Is it Tyr?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Let me see here real quick. Hold on, I got it up. And I lied. I think it is Tyr, though. I think that's right. So like Tyr leads Celestia, which is here, leads the topmost layer, which is the 7th layer of Celestia, and Asmodeus leads the 9th layer. Above both of them is Lord Io. Lord Io basically granted those two power as a balance. Lord Io doesn't have any followers. He has no mortal worshippers. He has nothing. No one worships him because he doesn't need it. He's essentially above all that. You do remember scanning across something that said something about even Lord Io answers to a higher power. They commonly refer to this power as the being of light.
Oh, good. I like light.
And that is all you get.
He's an overgod.
Yes, Io is an overgod. He's been forgotten amongst some realms and remembered by others. But for the most part, it is said that he created this pool. For what reasons is unknown, and why it floats in this palace is unknown. But it is here, so we use it.
But just to be clear, the boys went in by themselves, unknowing a lot of this stuff because they didn't ask. And I'm not shocked.
Kratos went in with Reap. He's not by himself.
I'm just want to make sure because we've lost them before.
Oh, you will not lose them. We know where they are. They are in the pool.
Do they have clothes on?
Kratos is a really good swimmer.
Some of them do. Some of them don't. So as you guys are talking, Gurumar walks in, just completely doesn't care that
Is
you
that
guys
the
are naked.
dickhead?
No, he's the voice.
No, he's,
Oh, okay.
he's a nice one.
Yeah, and he says, "Pardon me, my ladies. I must ask you to hurry.
Of
I
course.
forgive me for asking such a thing in this time. Your friends have already entered the pool, and it
Understand.
looks
You've heard.
it looks as if though it is very intense, especially for the half-orc. He seems to be sweating profusely. I do not understand why, or I could. I mean, he is a little hard-headed.
He's not the brightest, but he is brave.
He's very.
You got called brave. Shush up.
He seems as if
I'm gonna
though
kill everybody.
you would want him with you in a fight, for sure.
Yes,
Yes.
always.
Hmm.
Maybe not so much on a diplomatic fight,
No.
but definitely in a fight.
Or an intelligent war, or in solving any riddles or problems, or in opening chests effectively. Really, the list goes on and on.
Guess what's small and guess what's small and bleeds.
Gurumar,
How's that for a riddle?
Bogel.
you see him chuckle. He's like, "Yeah, yes, very good. I like you too. Please hurry, but do not rush too much. The pool is awaiting you. Saint Leomar will introduce you, and I must be going." So, with that, as you guys are getting ready, Aegis,
Yeah.
as you step into the pool,
Mhm.
you literally feel just relieved.
Oh,
You
I
feel,
Are you peeing in the pool again?
And I fart then. I do both.
yeah,
I take
you
bubbles.
literally, like, anything you're doing right now is just involuntary. You are like, oh my lord. And as you like start to submerge, you completely sink under the pool. And when that happens, you awaken. You awaken in a dungeon with chains, and you are chained up.
Oh, I
those
still
chains-
break. I still
these
break
are-
the chains.
No. These are not your normal chains. These chains are spiked at the
I
wrist.
bite them.
So every time you move your wrist, you're stabbing yourself. You're almost cutting yourself to pieces. The same at your feet, the same at your neck. You see in front of you a true orc that stands about 6'9", 6'10", and he's just insanely muscular, has both eyes. He's carrying a spear that looks awfully familiar. And he looks at you and he goes, "You remember the last time we fought?"
I keep moving my wrist. I don't care if to make it bloody, because if it gets real bloody, then I can slip out of it.
Yeah, I don't think these are the kind of chains that happens. But keep
that's what I
going.
think. That's what I don't care.
And he just keeps laughing. He's like, yes, pay your blood toll to come past me.
What do you want, Nazgamar?
I've already told you. Fill the stone with blood. I do not care which it comes from. Fill it. Bring it to me. Resurrect Nazgamar.
Will you help me kill stupid dragons?
Help you kill what? I am
Stupid
your
dragon.
god. I am not your friend. You kill for me. I do not kill for no one.
A G's kills for a G's.
Then kill
A
a G.
G's have skulls.
You call those skulls. And then he waves his arms up, and as he does, behind him is just mountains of skulls. Dragon skulls, fucking demon skulls, angel skulls. I mean, you just see
A
skulls.
G's will kill the one thing you couldn't.
Oh, you think I couldn't kill Grumsh? Is that what you think?
You're the one that had to say that he cheated. Cheating
No,
shouldn't matter.
I did not say he cheated. He did cheat, half-orc.
You fell victim to parlay. Not my fault.
I
What?
can't even explain parlay to you because you are too stupid. I really hope you're better with that spear for what's to come.
A G's is not stupid. A G's is thick.
Yes, in the head, a G's.
Headed. Exactly.
He takes Nazgamar
That's what that elf is gonna say.
and he spins it and he shoves it into the ground and it literally buries probably 3/4 of Nazgamar straight into the ground.
Well, look at the tricks you can do.
And he looks at you and he snaps his finger and your chains pop off your wrists. As they do,
I attack him.
blood, no. Blood is literally pouring out of you. Like when you were moving, you were basically jabbing just razor blades square into your wrists. Blood is just pouring out of you. And Nazgamar standing over the top of you. And he says, you might get your wish very soon, young half-orc.
Which was that?
You
What
want
about
to
the
fight?
bird?
You want to fight Grumsh? Well, you follow 2 gods currently. You think I haven't felt your heart shift to me after I poured the seed of doubt into your mind?
Grumsh did lose to an elf.
Guess what? I bet
42.
He's going to find you, Aegis. And I hope for your sake you win. But if you don't, it is no loss to Nazgamar.
It would be a loss to Nazgamar because a G's would be the best wielder that you ever find.
And so as he finishes, it kind of like gets real blurry for you. It fades out like all kinds like Wayne's World, like and
G's is having a bad day.
you wake up.
All having a
Had a bad day.
You're looking up at what you can only assume is the hut of some house or something. You see a roof, maybe. You see like a little piglet thing dangling above you. You look to your left and right. You look to your left and right. You see wooden like spindles above you. Very, very like just not well made. Very mundane, like crafted. You hear, "What are we gonna call him?" And then you hear another lady, "I don't know. What should we call him? What is a good name for a half-orc?"
Is it in orc or is it in what? Common?
It's in Orcish.
Okay.
And you hear, I don't know. What's those things that like what's a good I don't know. He looks like a strong boy. What do you think?
The G's. I say it out loud.
They don't hear you.
I say it again louder because I don't get this.
So what you hear is you hear yourself saying a G's, but
Mhm.
what they hear is a baby crying. And they come over to the crib and you see blurred faces of your parents.
Stupid parrots.
And they just kind of laugh and your father says, which you can assume is your father. You don't really see his face. He's got a pretty loud yell. He's got a strong voice.
Stupid
It's
bears.
proud. And your mom kind of like, yeah, and then that kind of just fades out. On to the next image, and then we're going to go to Savari.
Stupid Ghost of Christmas Past.
So, Savari,
Mm-hmm.
you step into the pool. The same elation feels like you just feel completely at home.
Okay.
Feel relaxed. You submerge yourself, and you wake up in the most lush forest that you could ever imagine. It's filled with the calls of animals. Everything's at peace. It's very, very beautiful outside. It's midday. There's birds cawing. Everything's just happy as a clam for a wood elf in the woods.
Right.
You're
Just dudes having sex everywhere.
as far as you can tell, you think that you are on the hunt for some kind of animal.
Okay. I will begin tracking it.
Okay. Roll your nature checks.
Let's see. It's 18.
Yeah, you easily find the sign of a deer. You find tracks. You find poop. You can even smell the air. You can smell the direction it's going.
Okay.
You're just moving along. About halfway through, you start to notice a different smell in the air.
Of?
Fire.
Can I tell what direction it's coming from?
Oh, yeah. It's coming from in front of you.
I'm going to keep moving forward then.
Okay. As you keep moving forward, the smell gets stronger and stronger, and you can start to hear screams, yells, cries.
What language?
It's in Elvish.
Okay. I'll wrap something around my face to try to keep the smoke out. If I could wet it down, wrap it around, and then I'll start running forward.
Okay. As you run forward, the smoke's getting heavier and heavier. You can hear the fire now roiling, just taking the forest. You can hear just the swooping of wings above you. You can hear fire hitting the ground. More and more screams. As you get closer, you see people coming out of the smoke at you, and some of them are charred. Not everyone is, but a lot of them are burning.
Okay.
And they're screaming for help. This is all in Elvish right now.
Right. I will attempt to help them.
Okay, as you get closer to them, you notice, as soon as you grab the first one, that is a dark-skinned elf.
Oh, really?
They are burnt on one side of them really bad, and he says to you, "Please help me, my family. They are underground. You must help them." And he dies right there. That was his last words.
And this is how drow are made.
Wow. He kind of grits his teeth and like, go. You'll go looking for a cave or something like that.
Yeah, as you're going along, I mean, the smoke is so heavy here. It's really, really hard. Roll a nature check.
Uh, 10.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like stumbling around in the smoke. You come across probably 15 to 20 more dead, which you can only assume is drow elf.
Mm-hmm.
You also start to realize that this could be remnants of Cholt. and you hear again wings above you, and you hear another fire come down, and it rains right over the top of you and just starts melting another area of Cholt.
Okay.
And the heat is so immense that you immediately just break out in a sweat. Like you are, and more screams are filled in the air. You see, this time running by you, you see Yonti just screaming to save us, help us, please. The dragons are here. They're killing us all. Help us. We don't even know why.
I'm looking for the dragons.
Oh, every so often above in the cloud of smoke, you just hear wings and you see smoke swirl, but you can never catch an actual dragon. It is so filled with smoke in the forest right now that it's almost impossible to see in front of you. What you do hear is from behind you. You hear young Savari.
Spin around.
You see in front of you another elf, and the smoke is literally parting away from him. And he looks at you and he says, "Please understand that I am a Maran. I am the tree warden. I am what holds this world together."
Looks down at the bow in his hand.
Yes, you are correct. That is me. Well, now, this is me then. And what you see him wearing is almost looks like armor made from a leaf. If you could imagine like a giant leaf. Mm-hmm. It's very green, but it looks like it's just shiny as plate armor would be.
Right, and rigid. And
yep, it's exactly. And you see him with a bow. You see him with two swords. And he looks at you and he says, "Do you understand what your duty is because you wield that bow?"
I do not.
The world is falling apart yet again. This is your past. This is your... Well, this is what you didn't see happen. Everything in Cholt, your homeland, is dead. Everything. Even the tree that I planted many, many years ago has died. You must plant more. If you do not, Faerun will fall to the nether. It will crumble. It will perish. It will no longer exist. Do you understand, Savari?
Yes, I do.
Your hatred for everything, though not necessarily frowned upon by everyone, including your god Chevrish, is frowned upon by me. You must learn to hate the right thing. Not all drow, as you have just seen, are evil. You have heard of Drist?
Have I?
Yes, everyone in Faerun would have heard of Drist.
He's like the rock star.
Because they won't stop writing books about him.
Well, not only that, just because of the simple fact that Drist was he's the first dark elf that literally made a very big impact in Faerun. So
yeah, right. That wasn't just hurting things.
But I do agree they should have stopped writing books about him before 4th edition came out. After 4th edition, it got silly. But so
yes, I have.
Then you will know that not all of them mean harm. It is up to you to decide, but you must use judgment. First, you must ask. Do not just react. It is in your nature, and I know that your god is a hunter of them. But remember, he is not a hunter of the good ones. He is only a hunter of the evil followers of Loth.
That he growls.
Yes.
And he says Loth.
Loth is very evil. And, well, she is bad. And you will kill her minions as you see fit, and there will be no consequences to this. However, to blindly kill any drow that you see, that is not right. That is not what good folk do. Especially someone who wields me.
I will temper my anger with judgment.
Clay, we so need to ditch our weapons to get ones that are that serve us. Not the other way around.
Okay, so with that, Clay, as Omaran bows to you and he smiles, it all goes blurry again.
Okay.
And you find yourself back in Chol, or what you assume is Chol. Anyway, it's just a big forest again. No smell of fire, very calm. You're in your village.
Okay.
And an elf walks into your little house, bows to you. He has a black bow around his back, and he looks at you and smiles and says, "Ah, my dear Savari."
Gives a bow, and Lord Cheverish.
Very good. I am surprised you recognize me, considering how little you've done in my favor.
The bow was a giveaway.
I do not care that you wield Omaran. He was not one of my followers. He was a little more diplomatic in approach. However, did you not meet a drow recently?
I did.
And why did you not end that drow where it stood? Why did you not attempt to take its life? Why did you just let it walk by? Why? Tell me, please.
It wasn't doing anything. It wasn't being hostile.
To think that a drow is not doing anything is the first mistake that you make before they kill you. We have
Perhaps not.
We have always had a very strange relationship. You started worshiping me after your family was killed, no?
Yes, I did.
So you came to me because I am, well, revenge, am I not?
You are?
And you seek revenge?
I executed my revenge.
Okay. So why would you not continue to kill?
Perhaps a change of views has come about me lately.
Interesting.
Maybe blind hatred is not the way to go.
Very well spoken, Savati. I do agree that blind hatred is not the way to go. Although I am revenge and vengeance is sometimes blind, I myself am not. My vengeance is only to strike those that are evil. As long as your vengeance is the same, then we have no problems. But if you lose your hatred for my hatred, then we might find ourselves at a crossroads.
We might.
Do you still hate what I hate?
I do. But I also know that not all of those are deserving of the hate.
And as he goes to tell you, he starts to say, well, I guess we... And then it starts to fade out. And then on to Kratos.
God damn it.
So, Kratos, you find yourself holding Reap in the middle of a plains, surrounded by other barbarians. And they are all chanting Tempest. And across the field is what you can assume is another tribe of barbarians, all chanting Tempest. And one of them grabs you. It's an old man with like thinning white hair, balding, grabs you and screams, Tempest!
I stop. I freeze.
He just laughs and kind of pushes you out of the way. And he goes to the next guy, screams Tempest in their face, and they scream Tempest right back. And then you start hearing the chants, Tempest, Tempest, Tempest. And it's just getting louder and louder, and the bloodlust is growing and growing. And then everybody starts...
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, can I see anything I recognize about the barbarians at all? Any specific clan or clans?
From what you remember, if I remember your backstory correctly, this would have been your clan before they were killed.
Yeah.
And the person that grabbed you would have been your chieftain. And he was big. Like, you're a big ass half dragon or dragonborn. This dude's just a big fucking dude.
So this time, because I'm not first level, I'm going to take in what I see around me. And because I'm actually here this time and not on some outskirts, I'm going to lift Reap up above my head and scream Tempest as loud as I can.
Okay,
Just shriek.
So when you do that, the chieftain stops and he turns around and looks at you and he just pounds his chest. And he comes right next to you and just screams, For Tempest! And everybody just takes off running.
Fucking charge.
Okay, and then, yeah, you see across the field, they're charging as well, screaming Tempest. Everybody's yelling for Tempest right now. You guys are just barreling in. In front of you, you see probably, I don't know, 2,500 people just barreling down at you guys. And you guys are maybe a tribe of 1,200. You are heavily outnumbered. You guys are getting closer and closer.
When we're running, is everything completely open? Like, is it just
Yes, you are in the middle.
like
Yep,
barren fields?
you're in the middle of the plains, like just something that like the Dothraki would be fighting on right now. Like, this is where you're at. Just and there's no arrows, there's no archers. It's just guys with fucking giant axes and hammers and swords and spears just running at each
guys
other.
with axes and no shirts.
Right,
Go.
just what you can imagine barbarians would be fighting, like a bunch of Conans running at each other.
Fuck. There's no good answers in my head.
So you guys are getting
You
closer
know what?
and closer.
I am going to do this.
Okay.
I will do the equivalent of because again I am stronger than I was, my own charge action to try and be the fucking very point of the charge. And I am going to, as I do that, spit a fucking bolt of lightning at these jagoffs in front of me and just start swinging.
Okay,
But
so
I want to try and take them because at this point, I would have to imagine, other than perhaps a chieftain or just somebody that's lived to be beyond 30 in the tribe, I'd have to be a stronger person out of them. And I want to just meet them fucking head on. And I want to see if I can personally turn any sort of tide, anything that had happened.
okay, so as you run out and you use your charge ability, you literally just sprint, and the only person that's able to keep up with you is your chieftain. And you see in front of you them doing the same thing. They form like a triangle almost as they're running, like a wedge. And you run out, and basically you two, the chieftain and you stop and let your breath weapon fly, and your breath weapon just sweeps the front wedge and literally just melts the first like 50 or 60 people. They just disintegrate. And it kind of slows the wedge a little bit. Like the guy that's supposed to take the point is like, what the fuck do I do now? 60 people just died. There's no real easy way to take a point here. And you can kind of see it in their face, like they're worried a little bit. But you see from behind them an old, tall, like he's probably 6-7 inches taller than everybody else, steps out in front and just runs. And he's just taking huge strides, and he's carrying a giant warhammer. And he looks right at you and points. Everybody stops running. They all stop. And he sets his hammer down on the ground. And he issues you a challenge.
Damn.
I will stop and hand Reap right to my chieftain.
Okay.
And I am going to do the call Drogo and put my hands out to my sides and make myself look bigger, well, than at least the rest of the other barbarians. And I'm going to walk right up to him and scream Tempest and fucking charge him.
All right. Okay, so as you do that, he matches you. He holds his arms out too, and this guy he's big.
Bigger.
But I mean, like, he's a little bit intimidating for just about everybody on the battlefield. And it's not like he's just a tall dude. He's fucking huge.
Come on now, pull in Achilles from Troy.
Roll your, yeah, basically same kind of concept. Roll your charge.
Just yell parlay, kick him in the nards. You get the fight, and we got a scolding. This is so dumb.
That only works when an orc does. Yeah, it yells parlay and kicks you in the nuts. Because you're like, how the fuck did they know a word so big? It's 2 syllables.
It worked.
14, Drew.
Yeah, so when you charge at him and hit him, it's like you just ran into a rock.
Nice.
Like you just boom, and he just kind of grabs you by your back, and he throws you 13 feet back towards your clan. And he looks at you, and he's still holding his arms up. He's not saying anything. He hasn't said one word. He's just looked at you, raised his arms. Bring it on. Don't scratch your tattoo.
I'm just, it's flaking, so I'm doing,
Didn't you see that guy that died in Florida?
I'm not scratching. I was rubbing to get the residue off.
That's what I do when I scratch it too.
They also call that scratching.
Just don't use the tip of your nails. That's the dirty
I do
part.
a lot of this too.
Nails.
I do a lot of this.
I was just rubbing it, which is much better than scratching, boys. You know this.
It's true.
We'd get in trouble for playing with it. Like if we said that, but
Yeah, if I said I was rubbing myself too, it's all over.
Exactly.
That's how you get put on lists.
Right, Remy.
So he's standing there
Remy's
waiting,
on your
Kratos.
I want to. Okay. When I look at this guy, is he a human or is he a dragonborn?
Oh no, he's a human. He's completely bald. He's got a pretty well maintained beard. He's very clean. He doesn't look like he belongs in a barbarian tribe. But he's here and he's looking right at you. He's got very blue eyes.
I'm going to pick Reap up
Okay.
out of the chieftain's hand. And go stalking up to this guy. And when I look at him, I am specifically looking to see if I see anything else that makes him stand out other than being ginormous. If he has a tattoo or symbol of Tempest burnt into him, the shield and the sword with the flame, or what I'm seeing, because I've already dealt with dragons. And if this guy doesn't look like he fits, I want to see if I'm looking at something more than me.
Okay, so as you stalk up to him, you see that he has a lot of scars on his body. You see he's pretty torn up. He's not dirty, like, so to speak, like he's been on a battlefield or bloodied, but he looks like he's been in some fights. He whistles as you stalk up, and his hammer comes right back into his hand. And he looks at you and says, "Are you sure you want to do this with weapons, little one?"
I kneel
Good boy.
and hold Reap out.
You're such a wimp. I so would have breathed on him.
I already used it.
Oh. I would try again.
As you kneel, he takes his foot and shoves it square into your chest and kicks you back into your clan 15 feet.
Son of a bitch.
And he sets his hammer back down and he says, "You think the god of war wants you to kneel before him?
I
You
am
melted
going
60 people right in front of me and you think I want to see you kneel? You think anyone here wants to see what just happened kneel before them? You're a fool, Kratos. A follower of mine doesn't kneel to no one, even his own god. A follower of mine thrives for war."
I scream and I bury Reap right in the ground and try to shoulder slam right into Tempest's chest.
Okay, so as you do that, roll it up. Oh, Jesus, I keep rolling really good for Tempest.
He's Tempest.
16.
I think
Yeah,
a 1 is really good for Tempest.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
like
much.
hitting a rock, and he's just laughing. He's like, "Good, Kratos. Now show me why you follow me." And he just steps aside and calls about 10 people forward, and they're just 6'5" gigantic barbarians. "Show me why you follow me." And they start screaming and run at you.
Okay, I'm going to charge him.
Love it. I love Tempest. Okay, so you're in a fight. Roll it up. You can just roll your initiative, and then we'll roll percentage dice.
All right.
They got a
12.
15. Okay,
God
so
damn it.
they're going to go first. Does a 16 hit you?
Nope, because I have a 17.
Okay, somehow they magically miss. Go ahead.
So you said percentage dice?
Roll for your hit, and then we'll roll
Okay.
percentage.
Natural 20.
Okay,
Nice.
that is the most epic thing that could happen right now. So we're not even going to roll into damage. We're just going to go straight into what Reap does, because Reap is beautiful. So with your natural 20, as these guys are surrounding you, you swing Reap, and you do kind of like what your AoE would do, except that when you hit the first guy, all their heads pop clean the fuck off. And Tempest steps out, and he's just clapping. So
I'll scream his name again and lift the axe up above my head.
wonderful. You found Graxus the Wanderer. That weapon is more amazing than you could ever imagine, young Kratos. How many have you beheaded with it?
I'll tell him the number. I apologize.
I think it's 7.
7 is what I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is 7.
Yeah, because there were 2 demons.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, just imagine when you keep beheading the power that it can unleash. Do you know who Graxus was?
I do not.
Graxus is the only one to defeat Tempest in battle.
I
Damn.
kind of look down at Reap.
And you see Reap, like the edge of it just glimmers, almost like with a smile, just kind of. Graxus is no joke, young Kratos, and you wield a very powerful weapon. But know this, that Reap doesn't get its power from being Reap. It gets its power from its wielder. You are meant to lead people, Kratos, just because of your unfortunate event that has happened. Know this, that no one should kneel to me, especially Kratos. People should kneel to Kratos. You've done great things for this world, and you have brought me many joys. Do you know I sit next to a Merilith head now? A Merilith head! You clean shaved it right off. I saw it, I laughed, I sang songs. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
But tell me, Kratos, why does your head hang low?
Betrayal from a friend or someone.
That is what
But
friends do. They betray. They betray all of us. It's not for you to hang your head. It is for you to pick yourself up and take your vengeance on them. Is it not? Who do you call friend, Kratos?
It was Eldrazi.
And he
Right.
you kind of see Tempest take acknowledgement to that name, and he just kind of says, well,
He was not.
Odra.
I'm sorry, Jared.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
He was not a god to me in so many words, but truly, I believed, was a friend. That is what stings. I do not like that I've lost a warrior such as Ulfgar just to find out that he died for a cause that a great dragon who believes himself a god but is still within the realm of mortals caused. It is because of him that our world lost a warrior for reasons that are simply unknown to me. And I do not find, while losses on the battlefield are one thing, losses because of betrayal and inadvertent deaths are simply not acceptable. I'm not a politician. I don't want to stab people in the back, and I will not.
And that is
I
why you
will-
make a great follower to me. However, your friend did not die in vain. He did not die for no cause. Ulfgar was a mighty warrior. He was king. And he did not hide behind his men like other kings. He fought on the front lines. In fact, he left his kingdom to fight on the front lines. Understand something, Kratos. Just because people die does not mean it is bad. Ulfgar was taken by Moradin. I can guarantee you one thing. Ulfgar is very happy with where he is. You might not be, but he is. This is not something about you. It is something far greater that is going on here. You said that Eldrazi thinks he is a god. But the last I checked, he's on the Pantheon. Did he not capture Bahamut and Tiamat?
He did. But his followers did not kill me. He did not kill my party. They know something. They cannot be dead. Gods have their own limits with entering worlds, from what my shamans have told me.
Gods
they are
do.
locked away.
Yes, gods have their limits, but creators do not. There are things above us. We all take orders. You have a lot to learn, Kratos. And in short order, you will learn it quickly. And as he says that, he starts to fade out. And the battlefield goes away. And you are now back in Chult with Eldrazi in front of you, and Bahamut and Tiamat, and everybody standing there. And basically you relive everything right before your eyes. You see the Dragon Guard look at you and just walk away. You see Eldrazi go back through his portal and leave with all the dragons that he has recruited. Death looks at you and winks in the form of the golden dragon right now.
When he left, did he have... He was holding the totem? Or the totem was...
Yeah, he basically ripped the totem right off your hip. And it flew down on the ground, sucked Bahamut and Tiamat in. And then he just basically said thank you for your services and then left.
Okay. Okay.
All your dragon stones crumbled to dust. And then that's where we're going to go to Hades and Addie. You guys,
Hattie.
are now on your way.
Better than AIDS.
Yes,
Way better than AIDS.
But since Hades is involved, it's actually Mad Hattie. So, you know.
It works.
So the maiden...
It was so bad.
So the maiden and everything,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's... So the maiden is escorting you guys to the pool. She's telling you that, please understand that what I have told you might be considered a little bit maybe too much. I don't know. Saint Leomar probably already knows. He knows quite a bit, actually, for well, yeah, he knows pretty much everything. Anyway, please enjoy your pool. And remember what I told you. It will help you.
Yes.
There are two alligators named Sam and Dean at one end.
Yeah.
Just... They're trying to eat angels. It's a fucking mess here.
Right. I know you guys are Fae.
Oh shit! I'm a changeling. That's practically a Fae.
Right?
Right.
You're
Uh-oh.
No, not in a fun way.
We can get this one. So you guys go to the doors. They open. Saint Leomar comes out. Welcome, your friends. As you can see, are already in the pool.
Why is that
They
one
are
naked?
I'm not sure
It's
he
fine.
he disrobed. We do not care how you enter the pool. It's your
No.
choice.
I hate to say this, but he actually has a kind of cute bum. Don't let him know I said that.
I would never tell him such a thing.
Thank you.
I do. I cannot respond to this. But
Bahamut has a very strict don't ask, don't tell policy.
yeah,
It's like
Not
Vegas.
something you would expect, but
So, what I can tell you of the pool is that, well, from what our servant hasn't already told you, it will show you stuff, depending on how you go in. Addie, I have no fear for what you will see. You follow the light, you are good folk. You are everything that we strive to be here. So when you enter the pool, you will probably be fine. Suck that down, Matt. Just suck it down.
Do it.
Suck and eat it, dude.
If you turn your head and spit, make sure you get it on camera.
Yeah.
See, we're back to your job interview.
Just shovel that thing in there, dude. What are you eating?
Try and talk with a full mouth. I want to hear how sexy it is.
Better yet.
I hate all of you.
You love us, Oscar.
You love every single one of us so
You
much.
love us, goddammit. We're your tribe. Suck it up and deal.
The cheese is gonna kill everybody.
Or not.
I'm eating a French bread pizza.
Oh, it looked really good.
French bread pizza.
Sounds really good too.
That's code for cock.
Whoa. Whoa.
This is way more letters than it needs to have.
Whoa. Hades,
Yes.
what I can say of you is knowing that who you follow.
What?
Be very careful when you walk into this pool with what you are thinking. Your god is not someone to play with. In fact, some would not even call him a god.
I'm a liar who follows the great unknown. Do you really think a pool of truth is for me?
You are a follower of a god of chaos. The unknown is what chaos really is it not? To not know something lends itself to chaos. I cannot tell you or forcibly put you in this pool. But what I can tell you is maybe your god isn't so against it as he might seem. But as I said, I cannot make you enter it, and I will not. Addie, you are more than welcome to walk into the pool.
And Hades is actually, like, not making eye contact with him. Her
Right.
body language is just like mine is.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Yes.
Is there a possibility that you could get so sucked into your thought of your choices and the recurrences of bad and past, future, and present events that you could be stuck in your mind forever and therefore create a vortex time loop within your brain that goes over and over and over and over and over the bad events and never escape it? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, I guess named Kratos.
Whatever happens to you in that pool happens to you here. So yes. It is very, very easy. There have been many people to step into this pool and never come back out. There have been many people to step into this pool and die. There have been many people to step into this pool and come out enlightened. But what I must tell you is that if you are doubting yourself, to enter this pool is a very, very bad choice. It will take that doubt, and it will devour you.
I do not doubt myself, but am I able to wait till they are done to make sure they're safe?
Adi, go in.
But all of them, not just you, but Kratos too, and
I can take
jeez.
care of them. If I can take care of them, go in.
I assure you that we will take care of you the best we can, but know that we cannot stop the actions of the pool. Neither can you. To pull someone out of that pool in the middle of what they are doing is surely to end in death.
For them or the one that pulls.
Either or. It's just great that A just walked right the fuck in it, so.
I know it. We're like really having existential crises here.
Adi, you're fine. Go.
You go too.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. You have to.
I think
No, I
Aegis
don't.
should have dove in all sexy, like one of those
Like a
80s
swan dive?
movies. Yeah, just
Should have ran in like David Hasselhoff, just run into the ocean.
Just wait till I come out, all dripping, hair.
just flipping his hair back with the water spray.
I'm so banging that elf chick.
Oh,
Hey,
good luck.
You have to go because what is more chaotic than knowing choices? What is more chaotic than knowing thousands of choices that have been placed before you based off your past, present, and future? Nothing is more chaotic than that.
I can't go.
You can go.
No, I can't.
From behind Addie, you guys see a vortex open, and you see Saint Leomar turn and look, and you see a hand go straight into his chest, and he literally just melts right in front of you. And Death walks out, and a hooded figure walks out. He's got a scythe hanging on his back, and everything freezes except you two. He grabs you, Addie, and throws you in the pool. And he says, "You like chaos, don't you?" And he grabs you and throws you in the pool. And you see everybody, as you're flying through the air, going into the pool, you see the entire room start to come to life. You see the 7 great worms come running into the room, and they just start dropping. And he says, "Say hello to Aeon for me. I'm sure he's waiting." And as you guys hit the pool, all goes black, and you are surrounded by stars. And there is an old man sitting at a blue stone. His eyes are completely whited over. He looks very young, maybe 18 or 19. He looks sort of like a human, sort of like an elf, sort of like a blend of everybody. And he says, "It's been a very long time since I've had visitors."
Loreos?
I was known by that at one time, yes.
Called now. What should we call you?
I am everything and nothing. I have no end and no beginning. I am constant. We are known as many things, but first I must bring your friends to me, or they will be lost forever.
What happened?
Well, a great chaos has struck in Ferron, I would imagine.
Addie. I went too close.
No, this is not on you. Can you bring them here?
I will try. So he kind of looks at the stone and he puts his hands up. Aegis, you are balls deep in the middle of the bloodiest fucking battle you have ever been in. Your arms are sweating. Nazgamar is literally drenched in blood. You don't even know if it's the imaginary blood that's always dripping off of it or if it's just fucking blood. There's body parts laying around you. You are like huffing and puffing, and there is just a constant onslaught of demons coming at you. And it's not like the nice kind of demons. It's the fucking, no, we're here to kill you demons. Savari, same thing. More and more demons. And in fact, Savari, behind your stack of demons is a giant devil. And he looks at you, Savari, and says, "You probably don't remember me, Omarin. Or are you just the wielder of him? The tree warden." Staring at my army now. I am Baal. Prepare yourself, Savari. And it's just Balrogs just charging at you. Or I guess they're ballers in D&D, right?
Baylors, yeah.
In D&D. So you just see them, and it's fire whips and fire swords and flaming wings charging at you, Savari, and you're just plucking arrows away.
Yeah.
Kratos, same thing. demons galore coming at you left and right, and there's just body parts and shit laying everywhere. And in front of you is a devil, and he says, "Tell your friends that we come. Finally, evil will walk the land freely again." He never says his name.
Fucker.
But he looks like a
That's
very...
not his name, actually.
No.
His name is not fucker. Sorry, dude.
It rhymes with Omedeus.
Oh, fucker.
So technically fucker, right? I mean,
Actually, I think he has a first name. It's Mother.
Is it just like us standing on the field? I mean, are there...
Are you looking around?
Yeah. Are the barbarians here?
No,
or?
you can see Aegis behind you, and you can see Savari to your left. And you guys are basically fighting Baal, Asmodeus, his army right now. Like, that's who you're fighting.
And
I'll fall
long,
back and keep my back to these guys.
Yeah, how long have we been at
Yeah.
this? For a while, right?
It seems like you've been killing little demons for a fucking long time. You guys are all drenched in sweat.
I am so happy.
Oh, yeah. Like, Nazgamar is laughing in your head. He's like, fuck yes. What you guys see in the sky is a blue light come flying down into the battlefield, and you see this great span of demonic wings come out. And you see a demon there with a giant reaper, just a scythe, just hanging on him. And he looks at you guys and says, "There you are. It didn't take long to find you. Come on."
We charge it.
I like how we just answered for everyone.
I'll grab Savari and throw him at it.
Not me. So as you guys are running towards it,
Tactical retreat.
an old man appears in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are completely widened over as you guys are running towards what you can only assume is Azrael.
Move, old man.
And he touches Aegis's head, and Aegis disappears. He touches Savari's head, and you disappear. And he looks at you, Kratos. Another time. And he touches your head and disappears. And then you guys are in the same room. It's basically think of like a planetarium. So you've got like stars above you. And what you see is what you think is stars, but they look like planets. And you can actually make out these different planets and stuff.
Okay.
And this old guy appears in front of you. He's in white robes. Just looks... Now he looks very young. So what you saw on the battlefield was old. Now he looks really young. And he doesn't really look like a human, elf, or anything. He just looks like a blend of everything.
are they in the room with us now?
Yep.
Oh,
You
thank
guys
you.
are
Why,
together.
why did you stop at G's from his glory?
From your
young
death.
man?
From your death. Quiet.
Yeah. He holds his fingers up. He says, "I could happily send you back.
Don't,
Aegis.
please.
Please
Please.
don't. Please.
It is not up to me to decide these things, but it did not seem like it was your time."
Please.
G's has no time. But G's is. Old young man. What?
Who are you?
I am a G's. Oh,
Not you.
Young Savari, I am Aeon. I am the creator of time. Before there was anything, there was me.
Okay.
My creation took foot, and I no longer control it. It is something that is unstoppable. It is constant.
What do you want with us?
We have a problem.
You have a very big problem.
A bigger problem than we could even imagine.
Yes.
For you have met other creators without even knowing. We do not seek followers. We are just here to witness. And he reaches up into the sky and he grabs a planet and it just disintegrates. He says, "You see, there's time for everything, Aegis. Sometimes it runs out, sometimes it keeps going. However, it will always be here. You met one not too long ago. His name was Azrael.
Azrael is keeping Aegis' skulls. Old wise man, old young man.
Azrael is the creator of death itself, silly half-orc. If you think the game
Are you
play...
like a metaphorical parable?
Shh.
I'm sorry, half-orc, could you say that one more time?
Are you like a metaphorical parable?
Do you understand what you were saying?
No,
right
he read
now?
it in my book.
We found that he's actually blacking out right when he says that.
His eyes rolled the back of his head.
It might
It's
be
like
a
he's
tumor.
possessed. He's possessed by
It's a
Neil
tumor.
deGrasse Tyson.
G says one big word every session. That's a Jesus shtick.
Much like your aspirations, half-orc, to become some form of worshipped being.
Jesus is a god.
Sure.
Oh,
Gods
jeez.
are funny. They expect power from their worshippers, from their followers, and their followers expect power from them.
Yes.
Handed down. Creators are something far different. You see, when I was around before death, life, well, really anything, I was alone. This is not my form. I have none. I am everywhere. I am everything. I am every tick, every second, every sand that has ever touched is me. Do you understand?
Yes,
Aegis.
time is a flat circle.
Are our bodies here, or are we all here? Is it just our minds? Because that's a very important question right now.
You are all here.
Okay.
Do not
And if you
fear.
sit on your hand and it goes numb, then you're never really alone.
Kate will just stroke his cheek.
God, I'm
Just
such
talk about doing the stranger to the creator god.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, it'll help time pass the time.
True story.
It'll help something.
Please understand that there is more than just me as well. As you've known, there is Azrael, who
Yes.
created death.
Was he what attacked?
Yes, that is him.
What? I feel betrayed ×2.
Well,
Didn't you-
we know how to stop him now, don't we?
Then you have
We
met
do.
Dravix, have you not?
Yes.
He is the creator of life. And you have met his son, Eldrazi.
Oh, yes.
That piece of shit.
Yes. He is not necessarily a piece of shit.
I love when God say swear words.
He is more of a necessity in this time.
She
Good
was
and evil
meant
have
to
to both
betray
be in
the little-
existence.
Yes. Let me also explain there are creators of balance. There's creators of evil. And much like the being of light, who I think some of you have recently learned about, Lord Ao, I am his father.
Did you create the dragons as well? Tiamat and Bahamut.
Time created a lot of things, and I am said to create everything. However, I am more of a proponent than the creator itself. Without me, nothing can exist. We would all stop. In order to move forward, you must have a second. In order to have a second, you must have me.
So seconds turns into hours.
To minutes.
Depending what plane you're
Oh.
from. Not everyone follows those standard times. He reaches up into the sky again,
Book Elf, what plane am I from?
and another planet just crumples.
The Primaterial.
I'm from the primal plane, right?
You're-
Is that it?
Material.
You are from
material. I'm not a
prime,
mage.
the prime material plane,
That one.
specifically Ferron. It is in
That what
trouble.
elves sprint.
I can't even fucking.
Are they all dead back there?
Celestia has been overran.
That's what you guys missed.
Wait. Is that dragon poofter dead? Half dragon poofter.
Yes.
They're all dead, Archis.
I wanted to kill him.
Oh,
Overrun by what?
Altriel. Death.
Yes.
You better have my skulls then.
he has a lot of them now.
Death has so
I want
many
that.
skulls.
What do you want with us?
He
I
saved
want
us.
nothing with you. You see, what's happening here is that the balance. Faerun's time has not yet come. I know this. As
But
he reaches
something
up,
is-
as he reaches up into the sky again, and another planet crumbles to dust.
But something is accelerating it, correct?
Not something. My brethren. The other creators. Well, one is his son, who has him trapped in a totem that is mine. That I would love to get back, maybe?
As would we.
Why can't you get it yourself?
Ah, Savari. Very good question. Why wouldn't the omnipotent being just take it back?
Because you're lazy.
Gods don't work that way.
He kind of gives a look to Aegis like, I was thinking something along the same lines.
God versus God, maybe, is not as easy as you guys might think.
You look like more of a destroyer than a creator.
Do you guys see where we are?
Yep.
Do you understand? Do you understand why we're here?
No, that's why I asked.
Think about it. We are speaking to Time himself. If Time were to die, everything ceases. So everything just... And what do the demons care? I mean, sure, they're selfish, but do you really think one of those greater demons wouldn't just try to kill him? If he were to leave this plane, wherever the hell we are, outside of time, then everything's done. Just
Exactly.
something happens to him and everything's done. Gods bleed. We saw Bahamut and Tiamat get captured. There's no reason to think a creator couldn't fall.
And then everything would be uncreated.
It's like a do-over.
Yes, but
No,
it's
like a
also-
never was done.
And it could be remade in a different image. Let's not have that.
Savari, what the hell happened to them? They're not making any sense.
I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second. I gotta let the dogs out.
Okay.
Make sense of this, Savari, for a G's, because this doesn't make any sense.
Geez, let me put it somewhere. Maybe I can explain this better for you.
You try that old young guy.
Good luck.
Go ahead.
You wish to become a god, do you not?
A
You
G's
want
is
to-
God.
Really, Aegis, how many followers
To
do you
ants,
have?
well, I destroy ants, so therefore I'm a god. Being a god is all relative to perspective.
No,
Yes.
it is not. You generate power from followers. Aegis the Unbroken has 0 followers. This is known.
Oh,
You have many friends.
I do not. I have one
You
friend.
do. No,
One.
you have
Wow. Ouch.
many. And you are surrounded by them now.
That's 1-5.
If it wasn't for the people standing in this room, you would be nothing but a slave.
Jesus, no slave. And isn't everyone a slave to time, except for G's?
He snaps his fingers, and you go right back to the battle arena in Thay. And he's standing next to you. And he says, he looks at you and he says, "This is where you did your bidding, is it not?" And you guys are still talking to him. He's still having a conversation with you. "Is this not where you did your bidding, young Ajiz?"
Yes, I did my bidding, so therefore I was responsible for myself.
Answer me this question. Who put you in this room? Who put you in this arena?
Well, you did, Time.
No.
Old young guy.
Who put you in this arena? Not me. Why did you start fighting here? Is it because you were free? You chose to come here and fight?
I did.
Or is it because someone grabbed you and put you here?
I chose to fight opposed to being a slave. So I fought.
Right, but you are a slave.
Never in Jesus' mind.
Jeez, my friend.
A slave is an attitude.
I choose not to be a slave.
Wrong. He needs to make his own inspirational shirts and like posters that you hang up at the gym.
Right.
This would be great. Hang in there and
Nike, just do it.
You can only be a slave if you allow yourself to be a slave.
Should do inspirational things like Shia LaBeouf fucking screaming at the screen. Just do it!
Green screen me!
There may have been conversations today about a G's on a job interview.
It was a really great conversation.
Disgust. G's does not do Excel. Excel is for thralls.
Jeez, I ask you this. If you were not to fight, what would have happened to you?
I would have become a thrall. I would have served drink.
So in order to not become a thrall, you had to be a thrall and fight, did you not?
There's glory in fighting. A cheese one meant much glory.
There is glory in fighting. Certain things, yes. However, to convince yourself that you are not a slave or that you were not broken is wrong. The sooner you recognize this, Ajiz, you might just find yourself closer to godhood. Every god has been broken. I have been broken. Do you think I started off blind?
Yes.
Then you are truly a fool, Ajiz.
We do not come into this world seeing things. We come into the world screaming and fighting.
And you looked right at your mom and dad.
What was blurry?
Stupid mom and dad. Stupid old young guy. Time.
Ajiz the overcompensator.
My friend Ajiz, I must tell you, it has always interested me in seeing just how poorly gods have done things in Faerun. Do you honestly think following someone, well, with one eye is going to lead you anywhere?
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
But still lacks depth perception.
You are not in the land of the blind, dear sir. You walk amongst creators. You have met Azrael and lived. I will give you this.
Azrael counts my skulls.
Azrael counts your skull as his own.
That he counts wrong. He needs to talk to Book Elf and learn how to count, because the Jesus skull is still on Jesus' head. Or in his head. Something like that.
Your other half, besides the orc, what is it?
Inferior.
Good answer.
Curious. Very well, Ajiz. You stay on your path. You will not be a god this way, but you can stay on it if you
Then
wish.
tell me how to be a god, old young guy.
I've tried. You do not listen.
Ajiz will shut up and listen.
He snaps. You're back in the room. So, your questions are for me and why I have you here. Kratos, you are onto it. I cannot just come down there, Savai, like you wish, and take back the totem and end all this. For my life is also at risk, and if I die, we all die.
Correct.
But why choose us over the great worms?
Because one of you follows a creator. Hades, do you know who Cthulhu is?
He is the unknown. He is the dreamer. He is the sleeper.
He is a creator of chaos.
Yes.
He is one of my brethren. He does not look for followers, but he does grant power.
Yes.
The way he works, the way his power is gained, unlike mine, which is everywhere, is he has to have influence. In order for that influence to be noticed, chaos must be about, or the unknown. Mystery. He reaches up into the sky, another planet. So, I have come to you because, well, I need the unknown. See, to me it is even unknown.
That makes sense. If there is chaos about, it is harder for that to find you.
Exactly. I need my brethren, Cthulhu, to help me in this matter. But I also need you, all of you, to help me. Even you, Aegis, for how thick-headed you are, and how blind you seem to be, maybe you do worship the right god. I do not know. I need all of you to help me. I know that past deals with the deities or what have you have not worked out so well.
No.
But know this, Eldrazi's end goal and Azrael's end goal is this room. Do you see the planets floating above you?
They're beautiful.
They are, and they are all filled with life. And he reaches up into the sky, and another one falls. Everyone that falls, one must take its place. And behind you, you guys can hear like crackling, and then you see another planet form and comes in and starts swirling around you guys.
Are they dying worlds that you take? Or are they full of life?
They are unbalanced to life. Creation is not something that is very simple. Understand that everything has to be balanced, except time. But it is my job to maintain balance. It is hard to understand, I do admit. With life there is death, with evil there is good, with light there is darkness. If I am to create light, there is someone that creates darkness. You have heard this before, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Recently.
Eldrazi's brother Kissick has told you.
Sadly, we did not listen.
Kissick
He's
is...
listened.
This is true. I'm saying, Jeez did say, oh, I'm not going to believe this guy.
Yeah.
Kissick is not evil, but he is evil.
For the sake of evil.
Out of necessity.
To be a balance.
However, he failed. And now Azrael is there to do what Azrael does. Azrael creates death. And everywhere there is death, there is Azrael.
Lord Aeon,
Yes.
theoretically, if one were to have a way to, say, banish Azrael, where would he go?
Well, to banish Azrael, which is a feat of its own, would send him to where he is from in the plane of death.
Would
And
it
he-
have
He waves his hand in the sky, and you see just a dark planet come in front of you, and it's got a real bright white light, almost like Jupiter's volcano, and it's just swirling. He says, "That is where Azrael is from."
also, if he were to be banished, would it put things unbalanced when it comes to life and death?
It would definitely be a step in the right direction.
So it would balance things then?
But technically, we
Not-
still have Eldrazi to deal with, who is
Life.
also the life balance. So both of them.
Right, but as real as both are great dangers, but we haven't more of an answer to Azrael.
We do. Quickly, hopefully. But it still won't. It will put a temporary stop to what he's doing. But in the end, Eldrazi still has his
Right.
master plan.
I suggest that, well, if I may, you said you've met Dravix?
Yes.
I know that releasing that totem is a bad idea in some aspects. However, Dravix is not dead. He cannot die. He is a creator. If Dravix was dead, all life would cease. Does this make sense to you? Understand that killing Azrael means that all death ceases.
Even if we banish him, death doesn't take a place.
No, death will. If you banish him, it is different.
Okay,
Killing
good.
him. And yes, we can be killed. Usually by one of our weapons.
But not by cold. Because you're immune to cold.
Yes, Aegis, we are immune to cold.
I thought
This seems
so.
to be a common question with you.
It's a qualifying
He
question.
has the dumbs.
Would you like to know? Tell me, Aegis, can you read?
No, Book Elf puts it in her book, and Book Elf tells me.
He pulls out a little book, like a journal, and he hands it to you, and he says, "Please teach him to read. This is every known creature that is immune to cold." That way you can stop asking stupid questions, Aegis.
There are no stupid questions, only stupid answers.
We'll work on
And the retards that ask them.
we'll
Only-
work on easier things, but I will work with him on this.
Good luck, I tried for years.
See Jane run.
So I am sure that you all have questions.
I do.
I will answer as many as I can.
Do we take turns asking these questions? How does this work?
You've had like 35 questions.
I have
Aegis-
one more.
Let Kratos go.
All right.
Thank you.
It's an alphabetical order, Edges, you're last.
That works.
Hades is making the situation worse.
That never
He
happened.
has no idea. It's perfect.
Is that because of the Z?
So,
It is.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right.
We will start with Kratos. Lord Kratos, please.
so I understand that locking death away versus killing him, I can see the entirety of that. I can also see the danger in Dravix being locked in there with Tiamat and Bahamut because of the fact that without Dravix, life ceases. And correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean that life dies. It means that perpetuating life no longer occurs. The seasons would no longer happen. The trees would no longer bloom, produce fruits, and in an inadvertent way cause death, or I guess quite direct way, cause their own shortcomings. But what if we were to I am fine with returning the totem if I can get my hands on it. I am fine with unleashing what is in the totem out into the world, because there's going to need to be a unifying force after what we've seen. Whether that means that we're the ones that lead the good and evil dragons that we release from the totem, or Tiamat and Bahamut step in. I don't care. I don't want to see a world full of innocent people be harmed because of more powerful demons, extra planar beings, just deciding to show up. So what I would ask of you, if it is even possible, can we receive something from you to stop time for death, so that he still exists, so that death can still occur, but it hinders Eldrazi's plans? I would use it on Eldrazi just as quickly, but he knows us. He knows where my mind goes. It's not like he doesn't have an ego and may not think, well, they should be happy with what they got while they got it. But I don't take him as being that arrogant.
Well, what I can tell you, Kratos, is that when I talked of creation and I created time, I can no longer stop it.
Is there a devourer of time?
No.
It's called Facebook.
Touche, Mark Zuckerberg, you son of a bitch.
Time
Eldrazi.
always exists. When something dies, time might seem to stop for that person or that thing, but time continues past it because you can't see it or feel it or hear it or read about it or anything. It's always constant. I cannot just stop time. To stop time here means a chain reaction everywhere, and I cannot do that. I respect your values and your ideas and what you want to do, but what I can tell you is, since you have life trapped in the totem, Dravix, and Azrael walking, no life continues on Faerun. All that dies will remain dead. There are no new births. There are nothing new. There is no new life anywhere. All Azrael creates is death, and without his counter, life cannot exist. Since he walks on Faerun, that is where it is happening. And he pulls Faerun up to you guys, and you see this planet. And a lot of it's blue.
It's like Tony Stark.
Basically, yeah, like you're just sitting here hanging around with Jarvis right now. But you see these planets, and when he pulls up Faerun, you can tell that you can see the scorched part where Cholt was. You can see other scorched parts up and down the like Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate, down the Sword Coast. And nothing.
Damn it.
Nothing is growing. Like there's no life. The planet looks like it's dying. And you see him like look at it, and he kind of cringes a little bit, and he says, "You know that Faerun is one of the oldest planets in my system?"
Yes.
It pains me to see the life leave it. I cannot help you with weapons or magics or items or anything, because I cannot put myself in that position. If I was to give you something that was linked to me, they could find me.
It would be a beacon.
But what I can tell you is that there are some out there who know ways of doing things. One of them was in Baldur's Gate, but obviously that is no more. The other is in Thay.
Of course.
Thay is currently unharmed due to its loyalties. But if you find him, I am sure if you told him who you've met, he will happily help you.
Who are we looking for?
I cannot give you his name.
Will, can you
Grimy
tell
Pete.
me? Can you tell me if the name that I go by when I am there will help at all?
It will have sway, yes. It will also draw attention. He resides in a tower, of course. And he does, well, what they do in Thay.
Right. Is he in the Bod City? Can you tell me that?
Yes.
Edges? We're going back.
We're
Sorry.
back where?
My grandfather's. The city. Byzantor.
I'd spit, but I was told not to.
Do I have any idea off the top of my head who he might be referring to?
No.
Okay.
In fact, you think you're pretty sure you know most of the people that live
Yeah.
in the walled city and everything,
Yeah.
but what he's talking about doesn't ring a bell. As
Yeah.
far as you know, everyone in Thay is pretty, like, not nice.
Oh yeah, no, the place is evil as fuck.
Right. But this guy doesn't seem like he would deal with anyone who's too evil.
Continue the roundtable discussion. Savari, any questions?
No, not really.
I have one.
Yes.
So, if life is in the totem, what is Eldrazi?
He is the son of Travix, as he says. So, in essence, he is also a creator.
But only by blood, not by power?
Oh no, do not underestimate him. He has great power.
Tempest told me such.
But if life is not continuing because Stravix is in the totem and Eldrazi is not taking on the abilities of life, what is he taking on?
I do not wish to tell you yet.
Huh.
I know that your path has been filled with lies and doubt and, well, betrayal. But know that if I tell you, you will probably turn away. And if you do this, we will all die.
I have a guess. Throw it out here.
Just
ahead.
nod yes or no.
I'm just
if
gonna
this
guess.
is
I'm
true.
just gonna
Here.
say, here's what I would say their end goal is, as lofty as it seems. As Ion or Time said, their goal is this room. If that was their goal, and he wants to grow up to be just like Daddy and be life, and if death is happy being death, then their goal is to ascend even beyond the pantheon of the creators and be the two true gods to all of these planets, instead of them having their own deities and religions and beings. They want to just ascend beyond where anybody has ascended, Just a thought.
I'm still gonna punch him in the face.
Well,
Ascend with that bitch. And that's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be awesome. I already have it planned out.
Well, see, as Drew was saying,
Bitch.
as Drew was saying that I was in the room with Eldrazi because we could act. What I was gonna do, just as he shut it down, was swing Reap at the totem and try and crack it, but we couldn't.
Somebody wants to ascend higher than anybody's ascended. They just need a ladder.
You are correct,
Yes.
Ajis, and let me explain what the ladder is. It is the other creator's bodies.
Chaos is a ladder.
All right, Littlefinger.
Lord Aeon,
Yes.
did something set Eldrazi on this path? Was it his destiny? Or is this his own doing?
Mm.
Or is he certain Baylor dust?
You can do that? That's a thing?
It's going to be next game, I can tell you that right now.
Yes!
Cocaine!
Baylor dust makes one do crazy things.
Well, that'd be, in my case, the wrong character with an H. Like, damn it, not playing honey.
Eldrazi was born to a creator. Well,
Mhm.
in the way created by the creator. So he knows of the powers. The problem with power is you always want more.
Yes.
Some of us have learned to suppress that want and that desire. I, on one side, do not feel it at all because, well, I'm everywhere. I always have it. Some of us, when death is abundant and life cannot make up for it, life loses a little. And vice versa. Light, darkness, chaos, good, evil, it's all the same. Even amongst us that can actually just make things out of thin air, as you say,
Mhm.
still struggle for power. It is sad to see, honestly. Kratos, you are not far off in your assumptions of what Eldrazi and Death wish to do. Outside of time being constant, the only other constant is death. It is the only guarantee to everything. So my balance is Azrael or death. Time goes on and things die. Life is never guaranteed to any of us.
Do we know if Eldrazi and Azrael are in link?
I was just about to ask that.
Did you not see him when he grabbed the totem? He took the form of a Dracolich, I believe, correct?
He's the goal.
Good.
Then yes, they are very much together in this.
And we built them an army.
Yep. We helped them live together. We built them an army. We gave them everything they needed.
Yeah, they say Jesus is a stupid one. Yeah, right.
Yes.
What was that out loud?
Yes. Again.
Is it a monologue?
I do not have much longer here.
I have a
Unless-
question.
Please.
What does time have against asses and breasts? Because they make them droopy.
You were saying you don't have much longer here.
What?
That's gravity, actually. Anyways.
But
If you
it's
wish-
time.
If you wish to point the finger at something like that, it is not time. It is the organic material that those are made out of.
You should make plastic ones, fill them with saline, start a business, shove them in the titties, and you'd be a millionaire, Aegis.
Aegis, you should totally try to do this because I don't think you can roll high enough to make it happen.
You're going to have a lot of deaths on the operation table.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of dead bodies.
As you rip everything
It'll
apart.
be just like that virtual reality doctor thing.
Just going to use
Where
this.
you're throwing
We'd use the
parts.
Use this
Wii and your
spear
handshakes
here.
like real bad.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, there's a dead person on your table.
It comes back
As-
to life as Nicki Minaj. It's
As
so-
Nazgamar goes right through her chest. Oops. Oh, jeez. Maybe I
The
should
cheese
use
thinks the
Nazgamar.
cheese is going to stick with killing things.
Very good.
So the cheese knows when the cheese starts giving the cheese bad ideas, the cheese should not do it.
Jeez. Shh.
Yes.
Lord Eon,
Yes.
Hazel switched to deep speak, by the way.
I have no
Okay.
idea what that is.
Exactly. I don't think anyone in the room speaks it.
You have gas.
It attacked when Ali and I entered the room. I didn't bring it there, did I? By chaos entering truth?
Well, those are questions for your god.
Alright.
But understand that, like I said, he has to draw presence. There is no better presence than, well, that.
Yes.
Do not hate him or turn your back to him. It's not. Chaos is not evil.
I know
It is
that.
not. It is not good either, but it is not evil. But it is the perfect balance between things. It is very important.
He told me not to enter the water.
Of course he did. Why would he not tell you to?
But then
He
Not
told you
fine,
to
I
not
can't do
enter.
this.
He told you to not enter the water because it was unknown to you, to him.
Right.
It's pure chaos for you to go into a pool of so-called light as a dark being, is it not? He will test you in the most abstract of ways at every turn, Hades. But he will always be there.
He was
Because-
protecting me?
I don't know, was he?
I don't know.
Well, then he's doing his job.
He is the unknown.
And he looks to you all and he says, now listen, I have no choice but to send you back to where you were. And that means you will awaken in that pool. And you will walk out of that pool. And you will be surrounded. The only thing that I can assure you is that Azrael is not there. But I cannot tell you anything else. You are facing demons. They will not go lightly. And they will most definitely be lots of them.
Good thing I can banish.
Have you ever faced a Balor in combat?
Can't say I have.
We've seen one recently.
Well, seeing one and fighting one is two very different things. I suggest you prepare yourselves accordingly. And he taps you each on the head. And he bows. And you guys wake up into the pool. And you are surrounded by demons. And there is a devil sitting at the top of the pool with a Balor next to him. And he just kind of laughs, walks off, and says, "Bring me their heads when you are done. Thank you."
I'm gonna maiden armor and kick the fuck out of all these bitches.
I just throw Nazgamar right through that freaking Baylor.
Well, we're gonna pick this up in the next episode.
Yeah, think?
But what you see is when you guys come back into the pool, minus the demons, is that the silvery water is now a green, burning, like almost looks like fire.
Oh,
Oh,
fun.
that's pleasant.
Good.
That's because I peed in it.
It was so pretty, though.
It's definitely Aegis P.
Savari,
God, I
us wood elves are extra flammable
Oh, shit.
to green
Speak for
fire.
yourself.
To green fire.
I was gonna say
You
you're
know
not
what they
actually
call a
made
pile of wood
wood.
elves?
Kindling.
I was going to go with the British version, but okay.
Can I? And yes, I did tell Time to go do the stranger.
You did. You told Father Time to basically sit on his hand till it was numb. And then
Go jack
beat off in
himself
the corner.
off.
To be fair, Father Time's the one that created that movie.
Yeah, this is true.
He probably. You mean young old guy or
After
old
the
young
first
guy?
1.4 billion years, and one day he wakes up and realizes he can do that, he's like, well, fancy meeting you around here.
Next time I see that half orc, I really gotta thank him. Holy shit!
What's your
Oh,
other?
Cheese teaches.
Yeah, this is amazing.
What's
On
your
the
other
next
half?
episode of
Inferior.
Cheese Teaches.
that was very good.
Oh jeez.
What's your other
Ah,
half?
jeez.
Inferior.
Yep.
Fair enough.
You know it's hard being that dumb.
It really is. But somehow you do it so well, Matt.
Oh man, because I sit there and I'll think of something. I'll just start laughing like favorite. And I'm just like, what I say? Face sprinting or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
I
you
said.
said is that a bunch of face sprinting?
Oh,
Or L's running or whatever I said. Yeah. Oh man.
It's very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Well, stream, I'm
It
going to end
hurts.
the stream.
Oh, good night, stream.
Night stream,
Thanks,
we love
everyone
you.
that
Thanks for
watched.
the 2 new
What's a
followers. 2 new followers
Oh,
tonight. Thank
2
you.
new
Thank you.
followers. Yay.
thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Oh,
Kisses.
yay.
For kisses.